everyone, welcome back to Esports Ohio. This is the playoffs for our Club Marvel Rivals spring season, and I'm here today with Anakin. I'm OP Knees, and this is a map between Wapakoneta and Fairborn. So we've seen Wapakoneta play a little bit, so Anakin, you're the Marvel Rivals expert. What do you think is going to go down in this matchup?
I mean, I think we have a very limited knowledge on both of these teams here. I think now looking at these names here, I don't think we've actually seen any of these teams play throughout the regular season. However, I mean, just looking at the comps, looking at the records, and knowing that this is playoffs, I think it's going to be a pretty good match up today here. I mean, on Wapakoneta, we're going to see the Groot Knight comp, the classic combo rolling out from there, and Fairborn are going to be rocking the Invis and the Gambit.
The battle starts in 5.
Probably the best, or one of the best support comps in the game right now, because Gambit, going into season 6.5, still going to remain untouched.
I swear, if this
the strongest character in the game.
There will be hell to
We're actually going to see a triple support come out from Fairborn, as they're also going to be running that Cloak and Dagger as well. So, Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, and Gambit. I mean, Gambit acts like a DPS anyways, so, and especially when you have the Cloak and Dagger using that vulnerable, it basically acts like a DPS as well. So we're going to see how these guys are going to start off these mid fighters.
Yeah, 100%. And, like you said, these cloak lines can be doing so much damage along with the Gambit. I mean, it is going to be a little rough because they don't quite have the damage output that Wapakoneta has, especially with this Moon Knight ripping that ult like 10 seconds into the game.
I mean, I guess that's the thing with having that many people just stacked together. It's really hard to fight away. But Fairborn are to be the ones getting the first pick, because Wapakoneta doesn't have as much frontline pressure here. They do have a thing to try to break through. Fairborn still doing a lot of good knockups in roots with this triple tank. Triple tank, triple support setup here. There's going to be Amplifier thrown down by Wapakoneta's Rocket. Trying to do some damage, but it gets broken instantly. It's going to be a Cloak and Dagger ult as well being thrown here. Sky Warlord's going to fall before he has the Eye of Agamotto available. And as we're talking, the point is ticking down for Wapakoneta. Gets a double kill with the Scarlet Witch ult.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Funny 2 right there. Gonna be able to burst through any healing that Fairborn has to offer here. And Fairborn, as this long, dragged out fight just continues, they're gonna be approaching 60% on this first point here. And I think they're gonna be able to secure this fight.
I mean, Fairborn able to have so much pressure onto the objective. That's going to be a stun onto the Scarlet Witch and the Doctor Strange. That's going to be the Eye of Agamotto leading 2. The dunk doesn't hit anyone either. The Gambit ult as well as the Emma Frost. And the picks are going to go the way of Fairborn. There's going to be Emma trying to get a kick there, and the snow is going to fall down, and that's going to be all the way going to Fairborn, as they're going to have 80% on this point, and they haven't stopped.
Yeah, I mean, Wapakoneta putting up a pretty solid fight on this point, but I think they just need to cut their losses and reset. I mean, now it's a little too late for the reset since, I mean, 99% on the point. They're going to be forced to touch here, but it's not a good fight for Wapakoneta.
I mean, triple tank is a meta that we've seen be played many times. Like, the higher ranked players do like playing the triple tank triple support because it's just so hard to cleave through the amount of sustain that you have with such big HP pools and so much healing.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I didn't look at Fairborn's comp correctly. I thought they had at least 1 DPS, but no, they're just running 3-3. If you're familiar with Overwatch terms, they are running goats.
Goats.
And
don't remind me.
Oh boy, it's going to be an interesting matchup if Fairborn keeps up this these shenanigans. Wapakoneta is going to need an immense amount of damage. Maybe even opting to go like with the triple DPS route to try and just burst through Fairborn's immense amount of healing and just all that tankiness that they have with the Emma, the Thing, and the Magneto. Like, oh my god, it's just so much sustain. And I mean, if they're able to capture the point again, they're just going to be able to drag this fight out with all of their support ults and all of that tank sustain. I mean, Wapakoneta is going to have a very difficult time bursting through this front line.
especially with, I mean, the Moon Knight was a great touch from Wapakoneta. It was able to stop them from grouping up so much and able to get the ults out very quickly. But again, Moon Knight, with all the damage he does, doesn't really have that much burst potential like he would with like an Ember or a Phoenix, or even just a Magneto with his ultimate, able to burst down that much. You're going to see the mid fight starting out here, as it is going to be Wapakoneta getting the point first. Is a little bit of a good advantage for them, but Fairborn have a lot of ultimates online. That's going to be a big CC on the 3. Going to completely eliminate the Rocket Raccoon ult as well, as we do the Invisible Woman ult being unleashed, as well as that giant barrier is going to stop any damage from hurting Fairborn at all. That is going to be the Storm, going to be able to get a first pick onto the Emma Frost with their ultimate, doing some good damage to the thing as well, but can't quite find the pick. Fairborn fighting down a man, and that will be the Storm finding the second pick as well. And that is going to be Wapakoneta opening up this point and finally finding the kink in the armor for the triple tank.
Yeah, I think Wapakoneta made a really, really smart swap here on to the Storm. I mean, Storm is just going to be able to amplify the entire team's damage. And I mean, when combined with a Wolverine who's going to be able to pull these tanks out of position, out of the line of sight of the healers, and as we're seeing right there, finding the invis, but not quite going to get the pick.
There's a great pull to the invis. The kidnap is going to be good, and also Wolverine has really good frontline pressure, but all these tanks and sustain. But that's going to be a Gambit ult getting thrown out immediately. The portal from Fairborn is going to be able to come over the top of their heads, and that's going to be a complete cleanup as Wapakoneta are going to start to slowly circle away.
Yeah, I mean, Fairborn with the surprise portal on point. Wapakoneta sure was not expecting that play. I mean, especially because this point is so big, you're actually out of the voice line range of the portal when they're portaling out of spawn. So, I mean, there's really no surefire way to know if the enemy is portaling.
Something that interesting from Wapakoneta here is that Gambit, the only support that has an anti-nade in the game that stops healing, and against the triple support comp, you'd think that that would just be the go-to pick for Wapakoneta here.
I mean, yes, this is true. However, Gambit's anti isn't a true anti, contrary to popular belief. I think it is only 20 or 30% anti, so, I mean, even if you do anti someone, it is a really good answer to the mass amounts of healing. You can see the Eye of Agamotto come out here from Fairborn.
It's only going to hit the Wolverine, though. Not going to quite get a hit, as they're just going to keep holding them down the line. That is going to be a Groot ult. Isn't going to get much, as that is going to be the mind control used by the Emma. Not going to get much. The Storm is going to ult, though, and the Storm ult finds Purchase on the 2, looking for the 3rd, and that's going to be Wapakoneta, more or less only able to cap this point if Salt here has an ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, Salt's just putting in the work with the Storm ultimate when also combined with Soldier Smile's damage amplifier. It's just going to be able to tear through whatever Fairborn has to defend themselves. And, I mean, it's just going to be cycling this Storm ult is the name of the game. Trying to play long enough and give your Storm enough damage so that they can build the Storm ult as quick as possible and maybe get into the fight.
It's going to be a lot rested on the shoulders here. That is going to be the Cloak and Dagger ult being utilized, and this will be the Emma the Luna Snow going down immediately. It's going to get res there by Soldiers. It's going to be the Wolverine throwing the ult there, but it's kind of out of position. And that's going to be Silver Tongued, finding 3 on the Gambit, and that's going to be Wapakoneta. It's going to be just trickling down, as that is going to be the point getting flipped over to Fairborn.
I got you covered.
Yeah, and I mean, this map is a little bit more back and forth. Wapakoneta is taking these fights as 6 as they should, and I mean, it honestly could go either way here. I mean, Fairborn definitely does have the ultimate advantage going into this next fight, but I mean, hey, Salt's is 61% to that Tornado, so if they build it in time, tide just might change.
Definitely this Tornado and Rocket combo that they've won with so many times. If it gets built, that could be it for Fairborn, as their comp really is not designed to deal with it. What we're going to have to see is 94% is going to go down. That is going to be Luna Snow ult is going to be available. That might be just enough damage for Salt needed here. Fairborn is holding down the point. That is going to be a massive shatter on the 4. The stun with the Groot ball is going to be actually the micro there. It's going to be awesome, but that is going to be 3 getting picked after the Gambit ult being used. And that's going to be Fairborn. Has too many ultimates online. Wapakoneta was unable to build their ultimates to hold it down. That's going to be Fairborn taking the first map.
Yeah, I mean, Fairborn landing a very clutch shatter onto Wapakoneta. Gonna be able to secure that last fight and ultimately take this first map a pretty convincing way here.
I will say it was very close there, as we did see that shatter was almost completely nullified by the root wall. I mean, it's a little bit of ice skating here from the Cloak and Dagger.
Yep, nice little MVP from Crystal Bar, dishing out lots and lots of healing and some damage, getting 21 picks on the board. Pretty solid job for some Cloak and Dagger in this triple support comp.
Yep. And we're going to be going over to our second map of our playoff game for our Club Marvel Rivals series. So don't go anywhere. We'll be just right back after this quick break. C Sports Ohio. See you, ladies. Gentlemen. Hello everybody and welcome back to Esports Ohio. This is a match between Fairborn and Wapakoneta in our club playoffs for Marvel Rivals. And Anakin, you're the Marvel Rivals expert here. This is Spider Islands. This map, after we saw Fairborn running that 3-3 that they seem to really enjoy, how do you think it's going to air out here?
I mean, Fairborn, as you said, we saw the 3-3 on the last map, and it pretty good. We saw some really good results from Fairborn there, and I mean, Wapakoneta just unfortunately struggled a little bit playing into that 3-3, overwhelming amounts of healing and sustain. And I mean, this comp or this map is really strong for the 3-3, especially when you're on defense, because all you have to do is hold on this cart and live as long as possible. And Fairborn comp, that's what they do. That's all they do.
I mean, 3 tanks, you have so much health, and you have so much healing with the 3 supports as well. It's going to take a lot of work for Wapakoneta to cut through this defense, and as you see already, the Wolverine is going to fall down. We're going to see LJ Warfrog, the substitute from Wapakoneta, is going to be on the Bucky Barnes. Bucky is going to be one of the better picks here, as he's able to do a lot of burst damage, but without the rest of his team, he's going to fall pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Bucky is a pretty strong pick into the comp because, I mean, the displacement from the head, the splash damage on the primary fire, I mean, you just need an ult that you can combo with. So maybe if they land a big shatter here, we're going to see some results from that Bucky ult.
It is going to be the Emma Frost. He's going to pop her ult first. Wapakoneta is going to fall. One down, but that is going to be a 3-man shadow. But that's going to be the Emma able to pull the ice form and get that stun off. It's going to be a Invisible Woman. Going to pop her ult as well. It's going to cancel off the Rocket Raccoon ult. And as we see, Wapakoneta are just not going to be able to hold it as Fairborn gets the opening picks early. It's going to be a res though, keeping Wapakoneta in this. So they are going to have people coming back from spawn, and these spawns aren't going to be enough. Fairborn are going to get CC'd up, so they're just keep finding the picks and are just ahead in the fight.
Yeah, and these cliff blinds from Crystal Bar are just going to do so much work onto Wapakoneta's front line. Because, I mean, Fairborn doesn't quite have the damage to deal with Wapakoneta, but I mean, with these cloak blinds and the gambit antes, like, you're just gonna be able to burst through literally anything.
We do see the combo. We're going to see actually a swap over to Venom. They were using the thing to combo with the Wolverine to throw him. But now we see a swap to Venom to try to get those dives in. It is going to be an Emma Frost using their ultimate. They're going to fall low while in it. The Gambit is going to fall. That's going to be Lee Gams finding the picks. Bucky does hit the Cloak and Dagger with the ult, but the Cloak and Dagger is going to ult back. Wapakoneta is up in the picks, but has to walk away from the ultimate from Fairborn. Amplifier is going to make sure it's their turn. That's going to be a 5-man shatter from the thing. Doesn't find a pick though. It is going to stop anyone from being able to go forward. There's going to be Skylord finding a pick, and Wapakoneta are slowly fighting their way forward as it's going to be Fairborn having to retreat to the next corner.
Yeah, Wapakoneta doing a great job using those offensive ultimates to push Fairborn back. A massive
Poor man, Ahibagemoto on the corner, chest mimic is going to be able to get those picks, and that's going to really stop any of the push from Wapakoneta as they're going to have to fall back after using the majority of their ultimates.
Yeah, and the Emma solo ult is a little interesting there from Wapakoneta, but I mean, hey, 30 seconds on the clock. You kind of have to try whatever you can to make this a little bit easier on your team. But I didn't think that was it. But we're gonna see the Angela swap coming out from Sky Warlord. Gonna be able to touch this card and restall as long as possible.
And a cross out for Fairborn, but that is going to be Legam finding the 2 after he's going to be using that Venom ult, and that's going to be really the thing that's opening up this attack for Wapakoneta. But Fairborn able to hold the line, still has plenty of support and tanks left alive, should not be availed by the 2 picks. Wapakoneta slowly having to just keep touching the cart as the thing from Fairborn is just going crazy.
The thing is indeed going crazy, but Legam's trying his absolute best to keep this OT going, but unfortunately,
the current score
everyone's just going to be holding
0-2.
quite literally 2 corners
Time
in.
to switch things up. including which side.
Legams tried to do the most for his team. There's something that you don't see very often is Dive able to do something against 3-3. Legams almost solo picking multiple supports on the side of Fairborn just with his Venom dives alone.
Yeah, and we did see the ultimate combo from Legams and Drum Man Dan 1. I mean, combining the ultimates of the Wolverine and the Venom, getting 2, but unfortunately 2 just wasn't enough because, I mean, 1's always going to get rezzed by the Rocket Raccoon, and, I mean, there's still 5 hyper-sustainable characters from the side of Fairborn. It's just, it's a little OP. I mean, players in all kinds of ranks, I mean, even in the pro scene, like the 3-3 spawn hold, it's just so unbelievably powerful.
Get ready.
It definitely takes a lot of coordination to be able to deal with it. And it seems we're having reading time from the thing, telling them a little bit of a story. There once was a man who casted for Esports Ohio. You know, he fell on his rear and he said, "Ow!" So yeah, the thing, really good storytelling there. I can't wait to see how Fairborn's gonna be able to explode out of this choke and find, you know, able to get to that second cap, because Wapakoneta are gonna be switching up their comp a little bit here. As you're gonna see, we're gonna have an Iron Man and a Penny Parker that try to hold this corner just like Fairborn did.
Yeah, I like the Iron Man swap coming from LJ or Frog, because I mean, who on Fairborn can contest this Iron Man?
I guess it'd have to be the Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, and I mean, Cloak and Dagger will do meaningless damage to this Iron Man, and Iron Man's just gonna be putting out so much damage, similar to like a Squirrel Girl, just like in the air.
That is going to be a good pick onto the Thor. Thor, a little bit different from the Fairborn comp, who just wants to play all brawled up together with sustain. Is going to swap over to the group immediately, though. And we already see this, the Iron Man paying dividends here, but Legams falling very low, can't really get out of the thing, stopping him from being able to use his movement cooldown, and he's going to get taken down first again. The Venom that was opening up the attack is kind of making the defense even weaker.
But just unable to kill through the immense amount of healing coming from Fairborn. And now we're going to see a Gambit. It's going to be very hard for Wapakoneta to come back.
It's going to be a pick there. It's going to be Penny Parker trying their best to put the mines on the point. But eventually Penny Parker will fall, trying to do his best. That is going to be Venom throwing out the ult, but the Groot ult falling back, especially with the stun. The thing, actually with the stun, is going to stop the Groot. Actually, with the Groot paired up together, is going to stop Wapakoneta from being able to hold his corner. And even though the Iron Man completely uncontested, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, and I mean, if Wapakoneta needs to touch, or else Fairborn's just going to capture just like that. And I mean, they still have support ults in the bank. It's going to be a 1-0 for this second map in the series.
I mean, Wapakoneta started looking good there on the attack when this changed up a little bit, but I think it just looked like they changed too little too late. As now, as we see that the second map is going to be going to Fairborn, as we're going to see the Thing getting the MVP there. Akumu with 16k damage and 19k damage blocked. I mean, that's a tank right there.
That is indeed a tank. I mean, we're watching Akumu just absolutely pummel the Wapakoneta front line and like even like the mid line. Like they're just getting so much cleave with those right clicks or like those alternate fires, and I mean 0 deaths as well. That's a flawless performance from the Thing right there. Thing players, take notes.
I mean, now we're gonna see how Wapakoneta is gonna have to shift their map pick to try to deal with this 3-3 combo that they have here. There are certain maps that are much better for 3-3 than others, and it's going to be up to Wapakoneta to find what map works for them.
Yep, but we're going to be seeing what unfolds in this next map after a short break. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. This is Esports Ohio.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Esports Ohio. This is a match between Fairborn and Wapakoneta, and this is the playoff for the Marvel Rivals Club Series. So Anakin, you are the expert in Marvel Rivals here, and we're going on to Jala, the Convergence map. So how do you think that Convergence is going to air out here between Fairborn and Wapakoneta?
I think Wapakoneta had an excellent choice in map here, because I mean Fairborn's 3-3 goats comp here. It's going to be very difficult for them to hold as close as they want to. Lots of long sight lines here on this first point here. I mean, it's Fairborn's going to have to get really creative with where they hold and where they posture here, unless Wapakoneta is just going to favor. Like, their comp is going to be favored in taking these long sight lines with this Punisher. I mean, maybe we're going to see some Spider-Man action from Soldier Smile and along with the Venom. I mean, I'm very interested to see how Wapakoneta handles this offense here.
It's going to be difficult for Soldier Smile because, again, they're still running the thing, Akumu, not getting off of it, and I mean the thing is just so good for anti-dive, so this Venom and Spider-Man are going to have to be in sync for these dives to work out.
100%, man. I mean, like, Fairborn just has so many support cooldowns to keep them alive. Like, I mean, as we're going to see the Cloak Fade already be forced out with the Invis Shield. We're going to see the Gambit cards come out, and I mean the Cloak Bubble, and Soldier Smile unfortunately just isn't going to be able to do anything into that. And Lagam's, I mean, trying to get some value out of the Venom, but it's just gonna ultimately fail because Fairborn just has so many defensive cooldowns.
In Wapakoneta, that was a very clean dive by both the Venom and the Spider-Man, engaged at the same time on relatively same targets, but I mean, when you have three supports with all three busted cooldowns, it's going to be very, very hard to get any sort of pick onto them.
Yeah, especially with this big blue baddie in the game. Ding is just going to be able to shut down whatever dive Wapakoneta throws at them. I mean, if the backline ever trembles just a little bit, Okumu can just run back and save the day as a thing, as we're going to see right here. And Soldier Smile. Kieran looking for a little something, looking for an opportunity, looking for an opening with his Venom on the other side.
Gonna hit decent uppercut there, able to just skip past the point. Venom is gonna be aggro here. A good uppercut from the Spider-Man, but that stun and Crest Mimic with the 3K with the Groot ult is gonna stop the rest of Wapakoneta from trying to walk up here. The dive is just too split from the main as Wapakoneta has to return to spawn.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a Spider-Man player and I saw Fairborn's comp, it's near impossible unless Spider-Man goes for like a really cool TikTok poll on this AFK Groot here. That would probably be the best way to get some value out of this character, but I don't think Soldier Smile has that in his bag of tricks.
Us against the world.
DC damage onto the Gambit is going to be a Punisher and a Cloaking Dagger being utilized at the same time. That's going to be 3 ultis by Fairborn. That's going to be the Gambit and the Eye of Agamotto isn't going to find much. Their own Cloaking Dagger ult as well, holding it down, but that's going to be the dump getting canceled by Sky Warlord. It's not going to be able to get a pick from it and get exploded as after that ultimate engage. It's going to be Fairborn going all the way as they're going to just continue to keep the picks up.
Yeah, I mean, Lagam's with the Venom ult finding one, but unfortunately, there's just too much sustain from the side of Fairborn. Soldier Smile isn't going to be able to do anything as a minute is on the clock right now. Things are looking grim. Oh, but we're going to see
a full hold here. Ooh, portal. A full hold here. Kind of just devious from Wapakoneta. This portal may have come a little bit too early. A lot of time left on the clock. As well as the team isn't all back from spawn. That is going to be a good engage here from the Venom. It's going to be a Luna Snowball. It is going to be used here to keep up the Venom. It's not going to get CC'd out of it. Crest Mimic has the Groot ult available and trying to stop the Punisher from setting up the turret here. It's going to do some decent damage. The freeze onto Chest Mimic isn't going to find much. Sky Warlord gets a pick with the Groot ult, is going to be able to cancel that out as it's just going to be Fairborn all the way as again Wapakoneta cannot seem to get their footing.
Yeah, and 5 seconds on the clock. It is only Soldier Smile desperately trying to keep the point alive. proccing the overtime, but nobody from Wapakoneta is going to get the touch here.
Maybe Luna Snow. Oh, is going to be able to get a little bit of a touch, but gets clobbered.
The current score
To
is
say the least.
Yeah, clobbered is the correct word there. I mean, the thing is going absolutely ballistics on Wapakoneta's dive. I mean, it's just so unbelievably difficult, especially with Fairborn's comp.
It's very interesting because the 3-3 comp, rock, paper, scissors beats dive. But Wapakoneta is still hard committing on playing this dive.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a really good dive map, but you just have to look at Fairborn's team composition. They're running Thing, they're running Emma, they're running Gambit, they're running, like, literally the epitome of dive. If you were a dive character, and if you even see one of these characters on the enemy team, you're going to be quaking in your boots. Not to mention all 6. I mean, maybe except for the Strange. The Strange you're not super afraid of, but I mean, 5 characters that can completely just single-handedly shut your entire dive down with a click of one button. It's gonna be tough.
Benjamin J. Grimm. You should
Legams
know by now
and
that
Soldier
I'm far
Smile,
from
maybe
helpless.
swapping over to a little bit more poke. We see the rest of Wapakoneta doing. It seems like again the team kind of has 2 different narratives going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see the Hella and like the Strange, like maybe like fighting out this front line, and like with the quick healing, and then we're gonna see the Venom and the Spider-Man, the dynamic duo, trying to make something happen. But Soldier Smile with the perfect opportunity to cancel this portal here, and he does.
What a cancel. Good cancel. Now he should get out with his life. Same with Legams, and is going to be able to get out the Spider-Man tech being shown. Such a mobile character, able to even just camp in the spawn of Fairborn. That's going to be good for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Legams and Soldier Smile have a really good angle onto the back line. Maybe just go in, force a couple of cooldowns, and get out with their lives. But unfortunately, they're going to be overstaying their welcome.
Spider-Man versus getting hit by the Thing one-time moment as the Spider-Man got earthbound, unable to use any of their cooldowns. That really just forced them away. There's going to be Legams trying to hold the line here, put his shields up. I mean, Wapakoneta can't seem to get a pick here as Fairborn are just flooded onto the objective. They only need 1 pick to win this match.
And I think they just might get the tick here as Wapakoneta's team is just going to fall.
Final score 1-2-0.
And that will be the game as Fairborn is going to be able to take away these playoffs 3-0. First map looking close there towards the end, but the second and third map just went all Fairborn the entire way with their tried and true 3-3 comp.
Yep, and Chestnut going to be scoring the MVP there, rocking the Emma Frost Queen of Diamonds skin. Beautiful skin right there, and even more beautiful stats, going 20-0 on this last map. I mean, just great performance overall by Fairborn. It is quite unfortunate that Wapakoneta could not find the adaptations that they needed.
I mean, 4 players on Fairborn went 0 deaths.
I mean, that's just the comp, man. The comp is so good. Whoever cooked up this comp might be onto something.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we're going to be having for today, as that was the Marvel Rivals Club playoffs. And stick around for next season. Also, this week we're going to be having more playoffs and wild card rounds as well for all of the different titles that we stream. So remember to stick around, ladies and gentlemen. I've been OP Knees. Thank you so much for producing and casting with me, Anakin, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Yep. Stay tuned, guys. This is Esports Ohio.